tuned in.
You are now tuned into
the realest show on YouTube with your host, the Angryman.
Yeah, what's good? What's going on with everybody? We back in the building. Shout out to Boris. He says salute. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We gotta check out this speech that Michaelah Montgomery gave at the Atlanta Trump rally. That shit was fire. I gotta give y'all my reaction to that. But in addition to that, we got to talk about something I saw that caught my attention. Not only did it catch my attention, but it pissed me off. Like, I'm talking about royally pissed me off. So I want to give my reaction to that situation in addition to asking some questions about it as it pertains to all the pro-bliggity blacks and all of the simps and all of the white knights and all of the social justice warriors. I want to know why they're quiet on this particular topic. But before we get to any of that, let's get the likes up, man. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the support up. I need 10 people to support the show, and we definitely need a sponsor. So let's get the support up. Let's get the likes up. The likes should be well above. Let's see how many we got in here. The likes should be above 300 at this point. Let's get the likes up for the cook up. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. I'm at the point now where I'm not worried about the views. We gonna get the views. The views is gonna be there. We gonna get the views. That ain't no problem. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna ride that shorts feed like a mother. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna ride that wave all the way to wherever it take us. You feel what I'm saying? But we need to get the likes up and we need to get the support up. Real talk. Got to cook about it. Them likes still ain't over 300. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on with the likes? The likes up. I like my likes up. People gonna start stealing that. They're gonna start saying, I like my likes up. I like my likes up. So shout out to Tall for being a sponsor of the show.
$50 boss up. Stack up and match up.
Tall said.
Tell him about the gun line, boss.
Yeah. Let's see. Shout out to Mark G in the building. He said, enjoyed that panel you had with Fat Man Scoop. Oh, man, I really enjoyed that. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I wish... I know Fat Man Scoop can't talk about everything on live streams. Like, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I really wish that I could have a conversation with him offline, because I know he got so many stories. You know what I'm saying? Because he came up in just the right era. Like, he came up as he came into the music industry. That is the era of hip hop that I love, and I know he got so many freaking stories, man. I was just shocked when the brothers from Single by Choices, when they first came to me about being on the show, it was like, yeah, man, we got Fat Man Scoop. He gonna be on the show. It's like, we asked him about you, and he was like, yeah, he watches your content. I was like, yo, I ain't even gonna lie, fam. I was honored that anybody from that era, like, you know, Fat Man Scoop watching my show is crazy to me, bruh. It's crazy to me. You feel me? Shout out to Andre. He said speech was fire. Seen Anton's take on it earlier, fam. Word. Shout out to my guy Anton in the building. Appreciate you, Andre. Shout out to Miles. He said Trump played that perfectly. Strag on strag. Woo! Bruh. The strategy. Not the strategy, the strategy. The strategy. Tell me that Trump don't know how to read the room. Tell me that Trump don't understand the culture. You tell me that Trump don't understand the culture, and I'm going to tell you that you lying. He perfectly understands the culture. But we going to get to that in a minute. First, we going to get these likes up. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to get these likes up. We're going to get these likes up. And the funny thing about it is, you know, everybody's saying she cooked Kamala, but the only thing she did was tell the truth. That's what's so amazing about it. All she did was tell the truth. All she did was tell the truth. You know? Come on, y'all. We got to get these likes up, man. We got to get these likes up. Shout out to Laura. Laura says, showing love. Appreciate you. Come on. Got to get these likes above 300. Okay. Let's get into this first. Let's get into this first one. I don't know how many of you seen this, but it triggered the hell out of me. Let me just play the video so you can see it.
Take her medal off. After all of the, take her medal off. Was it you, Mr. Simone Biles, who was flying through the air yesterday? Was it you who spun like a top 30 times in the air and landed without stumbling? No. You were taking notes in the audience, and I thought that was cute. I was going to give him a pass.
Just wanna.
So, of course, this is somebody stitching this video. Bruh, when I first saw this video, I wanted to scream at the screen. I don't think there has ever been a thing on the internet that has pissed me off more than this. In the entire time of me being on the internet, shout out to Maurice. He said, love the intro and outro music. Cook tonight, no doubt. I don't think there has ever been anything on the internet that pissed me off more than this. Out of the entire time I've been on the internet. Now, the amazing thing about it is Simone decided to respond to her. And this is what Simone had to say.
Biles commented on my video. Simone Biles, Olympic gold medalist, most decorated gymnast of all time, took time out of her day, I think she's at the Olympics, to comment about the situation about her husband wearing her medal. She said, crazy thing is, I put my medal on every single one of my family members and took pictures. So don't ever make assumptions like y'all are so fucking miserable. Leave us alone. I'm honored to be told to fuck off by such a talented woman. Yeah, she told us to shut the fuck up, and she put the medal on him. So
Y'all are so.
Now, I just happened to be scrolling through TikTok. And I came across one of her lives, this young lady right here. And she was, let me show you the screenshot of the live. I'm gonna show you the screenshot of the live, right? Because I took a screen recording of it because when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. When I saw it, I couldn't believe it. Y'all see that right there? Do y'all see that right there? Do y'all see that? Not her, that. That. I'm gonna try to give my honest opinion about this without losing my shit, right? Because I did a short on it. I did a short on it where I spoke on it, right? I'm gonna try to contain myself as I talk about this. Now, it would be easy for me to just go in on her and all of the other women because it wasn't just her, to be fair. It wasn't just her. It was a mountain of American B-dubs that was basically flooding the internet talking about, take off her medal. You didn't earn that medal. Take off her medal. Now, I've been saying this for a long time, and I've caught a lot of flack for it. I've been saying this for a long time. I've been saying that it's the women. Now, keep in mind, when I say it's the women, that's a generalized term. It doesn't mean I mean every single woman. It means that I mean the women that engage in that type of behavior. Okay? Problem is, when those type of women engage in that type of behavior, the good ones are quiet. And that's problematic. That means you're complicit in their behavior. Now, why do they behave like this? They behave like this because they hate men. They have an intense hatred for men. It's not even, look, it's not even questionable at this point. It's not even a mystery. They despise men. This is the reason why Simone Biles deciding to take her medal and put it around her husband's neck triggered them so much. Because see, at the end of the day, a lot of them look up to Simone Biles. She's a very accomplished athlete. Not to mention the fact that she is a representative of black girls. Because she's not light skinned, she's chocolate. They can really identify with her because she would be a good poster child for black women and black achievement. And look, I don't have a problem with that. And the reason why is because if any woman is going to represent black women, it should be a woman like Simone Biles. It should be. Extremely accomplished athlete, hard worker, traditional woman, loves her husband, soft-spoken, not out here acting ratchet and ghetto. That is a good representation. But the problem is a lot of these women that follow her, a lot of these women that look up to her are not like her. Let's just think for a second about how ignorant, how ridiculous, how foolish it is for you as a person who don't know this woman from a can of paint. You don't know her husband. You don't know them. But for you to jump on the internet and tell him to take his wife's medal off, who the fuck do you think you are? Who? Mike, we get it. You fucking hate men, and you want her to hate her husband the same way you hate the men you date. And I believe I'm speaking for the majority of the black community, those of us that have some sense, not just the black community, but the American community. I think I speak for everybody when I say, take your trifling, bitter, raggedy ass somewhere, crawl in a fucking hole and stay there. Stop spreading your misery to everybody. They are obviously a happily married couple. Why can't you leave them the fuck alone? It's ridiculous at this point. And to be truthfully honest, at this point, what y'all are doing to her is harassment at this point. Simply because you are trying your best to pressure her into hating that man so she can leave that man, so she can be single and mad and bitter like your trifling ass. This is why I say black love don't exist. Because as much as y'all run around here pretending like you care so much about black love, the moment you see it displayed right in front of your face, you hate it and you want to do something to destroy it. This is the reason why you're quiet about Remy Ma and the way she drug Papoose. Don't see none of you coming to his defense when he is the type of man y'all claim you want all men to be. And as far as I can tell, Simone Biles' husband ain't did nothing wrong except value himself. That's the only thing he's done that made y'all hate him, is say that he was a catch. That's all he did. As far as we know, he ain't even raised his voice at that woman. But you hate his guts. Why? Because you hate to see any black man value themselves. You raggedy motherfucker. My question is this. With all of these women attacking Simone Biles' husband, which is really an attack on her, right? Because she clearly stated it. She told y'all to leave her alone. She not only told y'all to leave her alone, but she told y'all that y'all were miserable. In fact, let me rewind it back so I can read. Let me read the message. She said, crazy thing is, I put my medal on every single one of my family members and took pictures. In other words, she always does this. So don't ever make assumptions. Y'all are fucking miserable. Leave me alone. You know why she's reacting this way? Do you know why? Instead of folding to the peer pressure of the sisterhood and the gynocracy, do you know why she's telling them they're miserable and she's telling them to leave her alone? It's because she is an example of a black woman that was raised properly. Raised properly. And y'all so desperately want her to be dysfunctional like y'all. You want every prominent woman that is in the spotlight to be dysfunctional like y'all so you can justify your dysfunctional nature. See, if all of the women are ghetto and ratchet, and if all of your representation that is in the spotlight is ghetto and ratchet, you can continue to pretend like it's normal. You can continue to pretend like it's not problematic. you can continue to pretend like it's good for you to be that way. But getting back to my question, with all of these black women attacking Simone Biles, who is also a black woman, not only a black woman, but a black woman that ain't did a damn thing to nobody. Why are all the simps quiet? Why are all the white knights quiet? You know, the guys that jump up here and can't wait to talk shit to the men who critique the women. The guys that claim they love the women so much. If you love the women so much, here's my question. Why the hell do you only defend the raggedy ones? That's my question. You seem to only have smoke for the brothers that call out the trifling women. Why you never defend the good women? Whenever the good women come under attack, you quiet. Now, here's the thing, because I get so sick of this shit. Every time I go to panels, I go anywhere, I do anything on the internet, people love to say, Angryman, you bash black women. No, I don't. I call out raggedy women. But if you have noticed, if you have followed my content, every single time y'all come for the good women, I have smoke for you. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed every single time y'all go after the good women? If a woman that didn't do nothing to nobody innocently and she loses her life, I'm gonna do a show about it. If there's a good woman out here that's married to her husband and y'all attacking her for being married and all that, I'm gonna do a show about it. I don't know if you noticed, but I was raised properly. I'm going to call out the ones that ain't hitting on shit, and I'm going to defend the ones that's about something. But where the rest of y'all at? Why ain't the Mark Lamont Hills and the Amanda Seals and all of these good, well-to-do Negroes, why aren't y'all calling out these trifling ass people in this culture that keep attacking that woman? Shout out to Detroit 313. Shout out to ESS Munchie, said big facts AM. Where y'all at? Because every time they attack Simone Biles, you know who defends her? Us content creators on YouTube. I don't see Roland Martin defending her. I don't see Dr. Umar defending her. I don't see. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is with these Negroes. The reason why they only defend the trifling, raggedy women. And they're quiet whenever the trifling, raggedy women attack the good women. Because in their mind, they know that the raggedy women are the loudest women. And so they want to pander to those women and appeal to those women. They know that the women like Simone Biles are in the minority. So the reason why these raggedy, spineless, feckless Negroes don't want to defend the Simone Biles of the community is because they know those women are in short supply. They're pandering to the larger group, which is the trifling, raggedy, goofy broads that'll jump up there and say, take her medal off. You didn't earn that medal. But do you notice this? Do you notice this? Do you notice all of the people that claim to champion every woman's cause? All of the people that claim to defend women on a regular basis, when they're doing this to Simone Biles, every time they've come for her, nobody said shit. Nobody said nothing. None of the usual talking heads. None of the usual talking heads. And I'm going to tell you what it is. These well-to-do Negroes, these talking heads, these Negroes that are in, these black faces in high places, right? You know the reason why they don't say shit? Because they want to punish good women. What's the easiest way to punish good women? Not to give them support, to ostracize them, push them out, to treat them like they're not part of the group. That's how they do that. That's how they do that. See, they think if they apply enough pressure to her, she'll finally succumb to it and leave that nigga. That's what they want. That's what they pushing for. That's what they pushing for. They want Simone to leave that nigga. They want to destroy that marriage. Make no ifs, ands, and buts about it. These women out here want desperately to destroy that marriage. Shout out to Matthew. He said the playbook of these people is to accuse their enemies that which they are guilty of. Yeah, projection. Shout out to Black Goku Zero. He said they are walking contradictions. Shout out to Kevin. Appreciate it. Shout out to Mark G. He said Alicia Rashad got attacked too. Yeah, and they didn't say nothing. Shout out to Kelson. And they didn't say nothing. They didn't say anything. Because they want to punish the good women. They want to punish the good women. And they want to reward the bad ones. So guess what? Whenever somebody critiques the bad ones, here they come riding on their noble steed. Here they come letting the cape drape. And I don't know if you noticed, but the Negroes that love to tell me we talk about black women too much, do you see them doing a video defending Simone Biles? Do you see them doing a video defending Simone Biles? Do you see them doing a video telling these women to leave that woman alone and stop attacking her? Of course not, because they're male hyenas. They cannot tell their female hyena overlords what to do. And here's the biggest reason why, right? You see that right there? That's the biggest reason they got a problem with her. Look at her face and look at her face. Look at her face and look at her face. So this one right here is mad at Simone, right? This one right here has probably dated nothing but trifling, raggedy ass niggas, which is the main reason why she looks the way she looks. She looks stressed out. She looked beat down. She looked like she had nothing but problems out of relationships. Yet she's mad at this woman for being married to an NFL football star. That's what's so funny about this. Especially when this one right here said, take off her medal. That wasn't you doing those flips. That wasn't Did you forget that this man is an athlete? Do you know what the odds are of anybody getting into the NFL? I don't know if you know this or not, ma'am. They don't have football in the Olympics. But to say that man shouldn't be wearing the medal because his wife is the athlete, I don't know if you remember or not, but he's an athlete as well. If that's your premise, shout out to Black Swan. If that's your premise, what you should do, ma'am, is stop worrying about what those two overachievers are doing. I'm going to say it again. What you should do, ma'am, is stop worrying about those two overachievers. They're probably going to have a kid sooner or later and produce another world-class athlete. You literally have a woman that is a gold medalist in the Olympics, and you got an NFL football player. Leave them people alone. That right there is black excellence. I'm going to say that again. That right there is black excellence. Simone Biles worked her whole life in the Olympics, world-class athlete. And let's be real, her husband is in the NFL. That makes him a world-class athlete, whether you like it or not. And guess what? When the two of them got married, neither one of them had a baby mama or a baby daddy. Neither one of them had kids from another damn relationship. This is why I don't rock with the community anymore. This is why I can't deal with y'all, because y'all are so backwards. You're so damn backwards. You will celebrate a Meg Thee Stallion and all her foolishness she got going on. You'll celebrate a Glorilla and all her foolishness. You'll celebrate a Sexy Red and all her debauchery, but then you'll try to attack a Simone Biles. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Where I come from, that right there is normal. That right there is normal. World-class female Olympic athlete marries a world-class male NFL athlete. Neither one of them got kids outside of their marriage. They got married. They're happy. They're together. They're living their life. That's normal. That's not dysfunctional. And I swear to God, I believe y'all hate it because it ain't dysfunctional. Or is it this? Do you really hate him? Or are you using him as the excuse? Are you using him as the scapegoat? Do you really hate her because of what she represents? Do you really hate her because she is walking, talking proof that when a black woman comes from a good upbringing and she is not on no BS, a black woman has no problems getting and keeping a man? See, that goes against y'all's narrative. See, y'all's narrative is that the reason why y'all can't get good men is because the men are the problem. But then you look at Simone Biles along with other black women. Look at Simone Biles, you look at Beyonce, you look at Fantasia, you look at all of these women that were able to get husbands and stay married. They all have something in common. That's what I've noticed. I've noticed that all of the black women that get married and stay married, they all have something in common. It ain't hard to see if you really pay attention to it. What they all have in common is that they don't delve into dysfunction. Now, some of them, like a Fantasia, may have started out dysfunctional, but she woke up. She saw the light. She saw the light and she changed what she was doing, so she got a different outcome. Y'all don't like that. You want everybody to believe it's impossible for a relationship to work because your ass can't make a relationship. And not because every dude you encounter is raggedy. No, you can't make a relationship work because you're trifling, because you're hateful. You have a nasty attitude. You think the whole world owe your ass something. And you think nobody has the ability to correct or pull your coattail and tell you that you're doing something wrong. You want the entire world to accept you as your raggedy, trifling, hateful self. And we're not going to do it. And it pisses you off that guys like me come up here and say this type of thing because you don't want people to hear this. You don't want people to know this is what the problem is. Because if people wake the hell up and realize what you about, there's going to be a whole lot of you that ain't never going to have no man. Until you do the damn work. Until you go get some damn therapy. Until you go sit down on a couch and have a conversation with somebody so they can fix whatever the hell is wrong in your damn head. Because it's something terribly wrong. It's something terribly wrong with y'all. And you've been escaping it for years. You've been pawning it off on everybody for years. You've been passing the buck for years. And that's the reason why you ain't got no better, because you've been blaming everybody else for your bullshit. See, the problem is there used to be a time where the American black woman had no problem getting a husband, had no problem keeping a husband. Shout out to ESS Munchie. He said they can only support the reflection of themselves. Got the nerve. And here's the other thing. What's so amazing about it is this woman just went and performed extremely well at the Olympics. Instead of y'all just congratulating her, instead of y'all just, giving her flowers, I'm going to attack her relationship. See, I'm going to tell you what it really boiled down to. And this ain't just for the women. This is for a lot of these little Negroes out here running around too. The one thing I can tell about the culture is this. Somewhere after my generation, parents stopped giving y'all ass whoopings. That's really what all of this boils down to. This is why you got so many little young Negroes out here running around acting like they ain't got no sense. This is why you got so many young black women out here acting like they ain't got no sense. Because when y'all was kids, you didn't get no discipline. You was allowed to run amok. You was allowed to do whatever you want. You was allowed to talk back to your parents. So you don't respect authority. You don't believe in structure and standards. You don't believe in common decency and common sense. And I know where it came from. It came from my generation of women having too many teen pregnancies. There was too many babies raising babies. And they didn't do it properly. And because of that, now we got to deal with an epidemic of children that have just gotten older. There's a whole bunch of you walking around out here that got jobs, houses, apartments, cars. You're living an adult life, but you got the mind of a damn child. You got the mind of a child. You don't know how to compromise. You don't know how to get along with people. You don't know how to have a damn conversation. And you think everybody on this planet is supposed to kiss your ass. And when the world doesn't kiss your ass, you know what you do? You run around here screaming everybody's bashing you. You run around here flagging posts and claiming that you're a victim and claiming that you're being bullied and all of this bullshit. Nah, you ain't being bullied. You just full of shit. And every time somebody calls it out, you can't fucking handle it. You can't handle it because your mother didn't tell you, and your father wasn't there to tell you. Shout out to Glenn. But I don't think I had ever been that angry in my life. When I saw them come for her, when I saw them attacking her for, like, they act like he took her gold medal, which ain't even made of gold. It's not even made of gold. You feel what I'm saying? It's like a gold record. It's not. It's just a symbol of the achievement. It's not really gold. But let's say, for argument's sake, it was gold. They act like he went and pawned that shit. They act like he went and sold that shit, which I find to be interesting because they got a problem with her letting her husband wear her gold medal, but they didn't have a problem with Kobe's parents selling his shit. Yeah. See, I'm going to call it out for what it is. You have a problem with Simone Biles allowing her husband to wear her gold medal, but you don't have a problem with Kobe's parents selling his trophies and his championship rings. It's quiet on that one. Like, the level of hatred that the black culture has for black men is ridiculous. The way y'all attack all black men, excuse me, let me back up. Nope, I'm wrong. Embarrassing. I'm wrong. You only attack the good black men. See, this is the epidemic in the culture. You only attack the good black men and the good black women. You damn near worship the gang banging, drug dealing, shooting, fighting, weed smoking, liquor drinking, standing on the corner, trifling ass niggas. You damn near worship them. The same way you damn near worship the pink, purple hair, weave wearing, multiple kids by multiple Negroes, stay on some BS, violent, trifling B-dubs. You Negroes worship the worst of us, and you despise the best of us. It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. It is so amazing. And then got the nerve to be running around here giving people lectures about who they gonna vote for. Talking about some, well, if you vote for Trump, you're a disappointment to the black community. A disappointment to the black community? How the hell you gonna be a disappointment to a community that's already disappointing? How does that work? How are you gonna hold somebody to a standard and you don't even have a standard in average everyday life in your culture? Shout out to Glenn. He said, the brainwashed only celebrate the brainwashed. Love what you do, brother. Appreciate you. Come out. Like the brother that said his father said if he doesn't vote for Kamala, he's failed as a father. What you need to tell him is this. What you need to tell him is this. He's probably a boomer or an older Gen Xer. What you need to tell him is this. How are you disappointed in me for not being brainwashed like the rest of you Negroes? You think I give, look, my father probably watches my show. My mother probably watches my show. You think I give a damn that they don't like Trump? You think I give a damn that they don't like Trump? I don't give a damn. And if they ever wanted to have that debate with me about why I like Trump and why I don't like the Democrats or Obama or Kamala, we can have that debate, but I guarantee you they're going to walk away pissed off. Because they ain't going to change my motherfucking mind. They ain't going to change my mind because at the end of the day, I don't got time to be led by people that still think Martin Luther King was good for black people. Like, real talk. I don't got time to have no conversation with folks about politics when they think Barack Obama was the best president we ever had. I don't got time for that shit. I'm my own man. Now, I'm going to tell you what I do out of respect for my parents. When they start talking about Trump this, Trump that, I just don't say nothing. I just don't say nothing because I know I know that trying to have that argument is an exercise in futility. They're boomers. And I don't know if you know or not, but you really can't tell boomers nothing. You feel what I'm saying? You can't tell them shit. They don't want to hear it. So I'm not about to give myself a headache and stress myself out trying to have no damn discussion with them about politics when I know that when it comes to politics, they believe everything they see on CNN, MSNBC, and every other leftist media outlet that's out here. I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to do that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not about to waste my energy on some silly shit like that because it's a waste of time. It's a total and complete waste of time. You feel me? But the funniest thing about it, see, here's the funny thing about it, and this is what you'll notice. All of you that have boomers in your life, right? This is what you'll notice. And this is everything, this right here is all you need to know. At the end of the day, with Joe Biden in office, let me figure out how I'm gonna phrase this because this is gonna be a clippable moment. So you might want to get your screen recorder ready, right? I bet you any amount of money that a Kamala Harris supporter will need the help of a Trump supporter before a Trump supporter needs the help of a Kamala supporter. That says it all right there. That says it all right there. I guarantee you, culturally, in the black community, the black Democrats will need the black Republicans before the black Republicans need the black Democrats. That's facts. That's facts. The leftist Negroes will need the black conservatives before the black conservatives need the leftist Negroes. Shout out to Bazoo. He said, well, he got the membership. Appreciate you, bro. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about that. That's just facts. That's just facts. Any way you cut it. Because the same Negroes that's going to sit up here and give you a lecture about how racist Trump is, the same Negroes that's going to sit up here and tell you some fairy tale about Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, be the same Negroes complaining about their fucking grocery bill. Be the same Negroes complaining about their electric bill. Be the same Negroes complaining about the price of gas. And do you know why they can be Joe Biden supporters? They can be Kamala Harris supporters? And they can hate Trump? It's because they don't know how to make the connection and the correlation between the cost of living and their fucking representation. They don't know how to make the correlation between presidential policies and the price of gas. Presidential policies and the price of gas, which then affects the price of groceries. They don't know how to make the correlation that a president signs policies that affects energy, which is your gas bill, which is your light bill. If gas goes up, diesel goes up, the cost of food go up. Why? Because it got to be shipped on a rig. It got to be shipped on a truck. If you have a president that wants to print more freaking money, you get higher inflation. Too much money chasing too few goods. Inflation. They don't know how to make those connections. They think that their representation doesn't affect their everyday life. That's what they think. Because here's my question for all of you out there. If you've got parents, uncles, aunts, people that are in the boomer generation that's above you, when have you seen them go to a city hall meeting? When have you seen them talk about their local councilman? When have you seen them talk about the mayor of the city y'all live in? When have you seen them talk about the alderman? When have you seen them talk about anybody in your local government? Let me tell you something. The only time these Negroes that are boomers are going to talk about anybody in local government is when they know them. In other words, they went to school with them. If they don't know them, they ain't talking about them. They don't give a shit. They don't care. And that's the reason why a lot of you don't care. Because if you grow up in a household where your parents and the people above you never talk about that, you ain't never going to talk about that because it's not part of your life. And then we have the nerve to sit back and wonder why we don't have no damn power. Meanwhile, if you pull up a video of a city town hall meeting or all of that shit, you see plenty of white folk there. Why? Because they going down there because they want to know what's going on with the zoning laws. They want to know what's going on with this, what's going on with that. They are actively playing a role in their community. The black folk don't play a role in their community. They just live in their community. And that's the reason why it's so easy for gang members and drug dealers to take over the community, because them niggas are active in the community. They're active in a negative way, but they're active. See, the well-to-do average black folk, they just live in their community. They get up, they go to work, they come back home. That's all they do. Because guess what? If black folk, well-to-do black folk, really wanted to get rid of the drug dealers in their community, really wanted to get rid of the gangs in their community, they could do it. They could do it. They could do it. But they're not active enough. They're not active enough. If black folks went down there to that city hall complaining every day, if they went down there to that city hall raising hell every day, guess what? They'll get them niggas off that corner. Shout out to D-Prez. He said, not to mention the fact that fertilizer costs increase as well. Yep. Shout out to Michelle, said this administration has given away enough money to other countries with nothing to show for it to make every household in America an 8-figure household. That's facts. That's facts. That is facts. But I'm like, that's why Negroes can't come up here and call me a coon, call me a sellout, call me any of that. Because first of all, I know better. You're not gonna shame me. You're not gonna shame me into engaging in an exercise of substance. I mean, not substance, of symbolism. You're not going, because that's all they do. They get mad at you when you don't want to engage in the symbolism. You feel me? That's all they do. They don't get mad at you for not engaging in the substance, because these niggas ain't got no substance. They just get mad at you when you don't want to engage in the symbolism. What you mean you don't like Kamala? Nigga, I don't gotta like her. But she's black. No, she isn't. I tell you what, instead of you asking me why I don't like her based on identity politics, why don't you tell me what her policies are? She's black. That's all you got to do to shut a nigga up. Is just ask them a question of substance, not symbolism. You got to ask them a question of substance, not symbolism. Let me show you the difference. Was Dr. King good for black people? The average nigga gonna say yes. Because that's a question of symbolism. He's a symbol. They're going to talk about the I have a dream speech. But all you have to do is adjust the question. Instead of saying, was Dr. King good for black people? All you have to say is, what did Dr. King do for black people? See, now they can't say he gave a speech. That would be illogical. Now you got to tell us what he actually did. See, that is a question of substance, not symbolism. And this is how these talking heads play in your face all day long. All you got to do whenever you see these Negroes get up on TV and start having these conversations, just ask yourself, are they asking questions of symbolism or substance? Are they having a conversation around symbolism or are they having a conversation around substance? See, the Democrat Party never has a conversation with black people about substance. They only have a conversation with you about symbolism. That's all they do. This is the whole reason why they keep jumping in your face talking about some Project 2025 is going to do this and is going to do that without telling you what Project 2025 is. None of them have pulled up Project 2025 and read the shit to you. None of them has suggested that you go read it. Not to mention the fact that Trump has come out numerous times and say he's not associated with Project 2025. And you know what the black folks will say? Yes, you are. Yes, you are, because they told us you were. Shout out to Akiak. He said it's pathetic and sad to still see black people this politically ignorant and stupid in 2024. Said Project 2025 PDF file is too long for ninjas to even begin to read. Well, here's the reality. We live in a day of AI. You can literally take the whole Project 2025 document, put it in AI, and tell AI to give you the bullet points to summarize it. You can even take the entire 2025 document, put it in AI, and ask AI, is there any reference in here to putting black people back in slavery? That's all you got to do. In fact, I can go to Perplexity right now, which is an AI software that does research. And I can type, does Project 2025 talk about making black people slaves again? Does Project 2025 talk about making black people slaves again? No. Project 2025 does not explicitly talk about making black people slaves again. However, critiques argue that some of its proposed policies could significantly harm black Americans and erode racial equality. So there's your answer right there. No, it doesn't talk about that. It doesn't talk about that. It says, 1, the project advocates for rolling back student debt relief efforts, which disproportionately benefit black borrowers who face higher debt burdens. We don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about that. It proposes imposing work requirements on Medicaid, which could disproportionately impact black Americans due to discrimination in the low-wage job market. Another thing I don't care about. The plan calls for dismantling diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government. Good. It aims to curtail or disband programs that experts say greatly benefit communities of color, including food stamps and Head Start. Good. Project 2025 champions gutting climate regulations and clean energy programs, which could disproportionately affect black communities that are more exposed to pollution. Get the fuck out of here. That's a lie. Some contributions to Project 2025 they just came out. There's a lady in Congress that just exposed that a lot of these programs that are for clean energy or whatever, the money ain't even going to that. Not even going to that. Which is why Trump has been calling it the Green New Scam. That's why he's been calling it that. Some contributors to Project 2025 have a history of racist writings or associated with white supremacist groups. Lies. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the goofy shit. Now, keep in mind, I want you to keep in mind this. Even if this wasn't lies, even if some of this wasn't lies, what difference does it make when it's not Donald Trump's platform? Not even his platform. Shout out to Kashmir Black said, I don't like the paternalist approach that leftists has towards black folks. Shout out to 4K TV said, boomers are an extension of the slave master's hand. You got that right. You got that right. Shout out to Big Mike. He said, low IQ outbreeding the intelligence. Yep. Yeah, I like all I hear that they're complaining about is they're gonna take away welfare and they're gonna make low income black folk go to work. That's all I heard. That's all I heard. I didn't hear shit else. Cause I'm sorry, if you want some sympathy from me, you're not gonna get no sympathy from me, because as a man, I've had to pay my way. Regardless, if I don't get out here and grind, if I don't get out here and do what I need to do, my ass will be homeless, and ain't nobody gonna give me no place to stay. Doesn't matter how much I've paid into the government. Doesn't matter how much I've paid into Social Security. Doesn't matter how many taxes I've paid. Ain't nobody. Section 8 ain't gonna give me no place. Social services is not going to give me no damn food stamps. They ain't going to give me shit. You understand? So you Negroes got to stop expecting us individuals that don't get nothing for free to be sympathizing with people that we know are able-bodied adults. We know could go to work if they wanted to. Because I don't want to hear that, disproportionately affecting the blacks, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, y'all don't give none of this assistance to elderly people, and you don't give none of this assistance to veterans, disabled. You don't give them none of it. You literally got people that fought for this country, sleeping under bridges, homeless. You literally got elderly Americans who got to go work at some raggedy fast food place when they should be retiring, enjoying their life. But meanwhile, you got some strag that you know could go to work on TikTok bragging about the fact that she gets $3,000 in food stamps because she got 10 kids. Who do y'all niggas think y'all talking to? Y'all can spin that, y'all leftists can spin that poor disadvantaged black people story on people that are outside the community that they never been part of the community. But the shit ain't gonna work on me. Because I ain't never seen a nigga getting food stamps that wasn't capable of working. I've never seen it. You liars. The only people you want to give assistance to in this society are the women who are out of wedlock mothers. That's the only people you want to give assistance to. It's like you're damn near incentivizing them to be dysfunctional. And it needs to come to a damn stop. Want to hear that bullshit? Yo, we about to get to this rally and this speech. I need y'all to hit the Cash App and support the show. We need 10 people to hit the Cash App. Shout out to Jalen. He said, for the sermon, keep cooking. Shout out to Aaron. He said, I'm paying you to chop up the on-the-spot video if you wish. I went to visit a friend who works in a call center that takes orders for medical equipment from car seats and cribs, breast pumps to walkers, beds, wheelchairs, and oxygen. She started talking, so I let my phone on the table and started recording. So you don't see my face, just a porch ceiling. But what she says about single moms and illegals abusing the system will make you fall out of your chair. I'll post the video tonight on Locals and email you a copy to chop up if you wish, sir. Please do. Yo, make sure you post it on Locals, Aaron. I'm definitely gonna check it out. And I suggest you guys, if you guys have not joined Locals, definitely go over to Locals, BINONation.locals.com, so you can check out that video. Real talk. Appreciate you being a sponsor, Aaron.
Here we go again. $100 boss up. Going down. Stack up and match up.
Appreciate you, broski. Real talk. Shout out to Black Martian Heretic. Appreciate you. Shout out to Hannibal. Shout out to Gone Postal. Appreciate you. Shout out to Kevin Lashley. Shout out to Sean. He said, Street Conservative is back. Had to donate. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Jeremiah. He said, blessing the masses with the gospel truth. Shout out to Brent. Appreciate you. Shout out to Thomas. He said, for the show. Shout out to Miguel. Appreciate you. Let's go to this video. We got to check this speech out. This speech was pure fire. Michaelah Montgomery. See, here's the thing. Let me preface this. See, what's hilarious is Trump's strategy was incredible. Why do I say this? Because everybody's running around here saying Kamala is a black woman. So Trump said, okay, let's see what happens when we get a real black woman to speak on this topic. Oh yeah, that's what happened. He said, oh, you wanna cosplay being a black woman. Let's go get a real black woman and let her tell it like it T.I. is. You feel what I'm saying? And look, I'm not even going front. I gotta give Michaelah props for coming with the energy. I gotta give her props for using her powers for good. Okay? I gotta give her props because I'm telling you right now, Kamala don't want no smoke with Michaelah. She don't want no smoke with her. Let's get it.
School bus driver in a traffic jam.
I'm so happy you all came out to see me. So, my name is Michaelah Montgomery. A lot of you guys know me as the girl from Chick-fil-A, but I am so much more than that. Not only do I serve as the CEO of Conserve the Culture, I am also the state director for Blexit down here in Georgia. I'm a Fulton County coordinator for America First Works, and I'm also launching a podcast on the Patriots Prayer Network, so put some respect on my name.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Now, why don't we jump right into it? See, as a young single mother, I can tell y'all that rent is too damn high. I can tell you that as a young black voter, groceries are too damn high. And as an American citizen, period, seniors like my parents should never have to choose between medicine or food. It should never be the quality of life versus the quantity of life. And I don't want to hear, oh, but we capped the price of insulin and lowered the price of all these medicines. Yeah, but you raised the price of everything else, so it's about time to start telling the truth to Americans and let them know exactly what they're signing up for if they were to vote for Kamala Harris.
I feel like it's the 70s right now. Right on, sister.
We need to vote based on facts and not feelings. See, under Harris and Biden, the average Georgia household is losing $1,060 per month, and inflation is at 21.4%. And due to the war on energy, average gas prices have reached record highs for the state. We also did a poll, and 80% of us black Americans are not happy with the current state of the economy, so I'm gonna need 80% of y'all to vote accordingly in November.
Talk about it.
They love me, they really love me.
Talk about it.
The left wants you to get in your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done.
Woo!
They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game.
Bruh, shout out to In Christ Alone. He said, right on. Bruh. She said they want to tout this woman as a savior of the black community, but the only thing she's done since she came in the game is hurt the black community. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. You got to run that back a little bit.
Hurt the black community since she came into the game. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game. See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families?
Oh my God! Bruh! She said, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown? Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Let's ask Miss Willie Brown. Oh. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet. Kitty B said, this sister is spitting fire. Spitting fuego. Shout out to AJT. He said, I super chatted earlier about my dad. He's a boomer. I figured. Shout out to Counselor at Large. He said, salute AM. Appreciate you. Hey, man, hit the Cash App. Hit the like button. Support the show, man. We going in. We going all the way in.
From her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families? I wonder if Mrs. Willie Brown, a black woman, is also with her.
Woo! Woo!
A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected.
Damn! Oh my God. Sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Did I lie? The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours. When asked if she would ever do anything specifically for black people, she said no. Whereas Trump gave us the Platinum Plan, which specifically uplifted the black community by increasing capital by almost $500 billion, creating 500,000 new black businesses, and would give black churches the ability to fight for federal resources for their communities.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why are we acting like strong borders aren't a thing literally everywhere else in the world? Since when has being patriotic been a crime? See, a few weeks ago at the debate, Trump mentioned black jobs, and a lot of people got in an uproar as if they didn't know what he meant. Well, we go to the polls and cast our black vote. We go to the stores and spend our black dollar. We live in our black community, but for whatever reason, we draw the line at a black job.
Hey, that's true. That's true. Let's be real about it. We'll sit back and say black Twitter. We'll sit back and say black unemployment. We'll sit back and we'll say black community. We put the label black on everything. We do. Black this, black that, black. But then all of a sudden Trump says black jobs and now all of a sudden he racist. What? How is that even possible? How's that even possible?
Oh, but wait, because if you're wondering what a black job is, please, I encourage you all to drive through Atlanta at all these beautiful black-owned businesses and check and see who works there. Probably a black person working for a black entrepreneur, recycling the black dollar, creating black generational wealth. If they come here illegally and they're taking your jobs and your resources, then please believe my cousins in the Appalachians, they coming for you too.
Uh-oh.
And y'all know Kamala Harris has yet to say Laken Riley's name. As borders are, she opened the border to millions of illegal immigrants that have flooded American streets with deadly drugs and gangs that have spiked overdoses by over 124% and brought more crime into minority communities. So how's that for black folks? But let's take race out of it. Just as a woman, period. How can you be a champion for women's rights when you're taking away opportunities from biological women and giving them to transgendered ones?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Because I wasn't done. See, how can you promote equity for women and you're allowing men to play in women's sports?
Damn. Shout out to Corp CA said, I want her to be Trump's White House press secretary. Hey, yo, man, hit the like button, hit the Cash App, and support the show, guys.
Would still allow men to enter their sacred spaces, i.e. our bathrooms and school locker rooms? Do I even need to mention the opening ceremony at the Olympics? Or the fact that Angela Carini was forced to fight a man and told us that she's never been punched so hard in her life? We cannot allow dangerous liberals who think things like this are okay into the White House, because my daughter will not be fighting a man at her wrestling match. thing both men and women can agree on is that national security is important. So who would y'all rather see lead us into war if it were so to happen? My silk-pressed sister Kamala or the big dog Donald Trump?
Woo! Woo! The big dog.
And lastly, I cannot get up here without mentioning my farmers, the backbone of this country. And aside from the Biden-Harris administration hurting you guys in ways we can't even comprehend by the rising cost of everything, black farmers suffered even more due to the delays associated with the Inflation Reduction Act signed in 2022. Now, don't let the Biden-Harris administration fool you because they waited until the 9th hour to sign off on disbursements as a last-minute attempt to garner support. But why would they hurt the agricultural industry? Probably because they're looking forward to making more money in the pharmaceutical one. And speaking of pharmaceuticals, because I promise I'm gonna wrap this up, when they bring up abortion and they talk about protecting your medical freedoms, don't be afraid to mention COVID. The Biden-Harris administration forced Americans to take an experimental vaccine and took away their jobs, their livelihoods, and their freedoms if they refused. Trump gave us a choice and Biden gave us a mandate. Hey, y'all, because I'm about to kill him with this one. So the next time the left wants to tell you that, hey, abortion is a right and you need to protect your medical freedoms, remember that they took those freedoms away from men and women the second they got in office, and there's nothing stopping them from doing it again. Clock it. So lastly, again, I'm going to encourage you all to vote based on the facts and not feelings. Oh, he made me feel so bad when he said that. Okay, but they hurt your families when they sent all your tax dollars overseas. Oh, it hurts my feelings when he acts like that. Okay, but it hurts all of us when you see an administration failing their country that they were elected to represent. In which case, I'm going to leave y'all with, hey, mama, daddy, I made it. And my baby girl Amaya is somewhere in here, so we can all say, hey, Amaya, in unison, because she's the real superstar, y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all get riled up and ready for Big T himself. Thank you guys for having me. I look forward to seeing you all.
Straight up cook session. Straight up cook. Oh my God. You know they mad. You know they got to be mad, bruh. You know they got to be mad. Shout out to Dan. You said, we must protect this woman. Bruh. She was firing on all cylinders. I don't think there was a single point that she didn't hit. I don't think there was a single point that she didn't hit. And this is just indicative of the fact that people that want to be informed in this day and age are well informed. Like at this point, you cannot at this point pretend that you don't understand what's going on, because it's right there in front of your face. Now, I gotta address this. I gotta address this because it's interesting. So what do you think they're going to say now? What do you think the community is going to say now? See, what I'm really interested in is I want to see how many of you black folk that support the Democrats, that support Kamala Harris, that support Joe Biden, that support leftists. I want to see how many of you are going to attack this actual black woman to defend a woman who's pretending to be black. That's what I want to see. I want to see how many of you are going to start calling this woman a sellout and a coon and all of those different things. Because, see, here's the interesting thing about her. The way she speaks, her cadence, her mannerisms, her attitude. She's not the typical black woman that you would call a coon. This wasn't Candace Owens. This was an around the way girl. This was a sister. So what you gonna say now? What you got to say now? This is a sister. What you got to say now? Shout out to Goose. This is a sister, and she loves some Trump. What you got to say now? What you got to say now? What we gonna do now? Meanwhile, while this is going on, Kamala Harris is ducking everybody. She's doing her own version of Biden in the basement. She don't want to do no interviews. She don't want to have no conversation with nobody. You remember when Trump went out there to Chicago when that chick was being nasty with him? What was the name of that organization? The National Association of Black Journalists. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. But she was supposed to show up then, and she didn't. Meanwhile, she run around here talking about Trump is afraid to debate her in September. What? She run around here talking about some Trump afraid. He's afraid to debate me in September. Well, if you were so big, bad, and broly, why you didn't show up? Why you gotta wait till September, Kamala? You could have showed up on that stage, and this is what's so funny about it. You know her record is bad when she doesn't even want to show up to the National Association of Black Journalists when the main journalist is obviously on Kamala's side. She didn't even want to show up to a discussion where she had the advantage. Right? Not to mention the fact that it was very insulting for her not to show up. It was very insulting to the black journalist for her not to show up. But she don't care. She don't care because she know all she got to do is do an ad, get some TV time and do an ad of her sitting at a Church's Chicken, eating some chicken and biscuits, talking about some ooh-wee. I hope they get gizzards soon, and you niggas will be ready to fucking vote for her just because she said that dumb shit. Let's be real. Let's be real. Shout out to the Lucid Experience. He said, if you want to see someone like her who has similar takes, look up Shamika Michelle. She's under the Jason Whitlock tree. Yeah, I've seen her. Shout out to her. Shout out to C. Baller said, the white libs will call her all kinds of racist words, but will claim they're not racist. That's facts. That's facts right there. That's facts. Shout out to the lowly one said, Kamala didn't even show up for Tulsi Gabbard, and physically, she was there. Hilarious. But see, here's the thing, man. She could have showed up and had that conversation with Donald Trump, but she didn't. Donald Trump asked if she was willing to have the debate on Fox. She turned it down. Now, here's my thing. Donald Trump already debated Joe Biden with their rules on their platform. So why can't they debate Trump on Fox? Why can't they debate him on Fox? Because they know she's going to get destroyed in a debate. They know this. They're not crazy. They know that she's going to get destroyed in a debate. Let's be real. It's not even going to be fair. They know that she would get decimated. And what she's trying to do is she's trying to stall and wait until we're close to the election. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. That's a pretty big gamble. That is a pretty big gamble. You feel me? That's a pretty big gamble. Because if you get up there and debate him in September and you perform badly, Kamala, they not look, Democrats, if she gets up there and performs badly, you're not going to be able to switch candidates again. Wasn't supposed to be able to switch them this time. That's going to be problematic. That's going to be problematic. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if she didn't have no smoke, if she didn't have no gas in the tank for Tulsi, what you think she going to do with Donald Trump? What do you think she going to do with Donald Trump? See, I'm going to tell you the thing that kills me, right? People love to listen to the way Donald Trump speaks, and they wrongly assume that Donald Trump isn't intelligent. Let me explain something to you. Donald Trump didn't become a billionaire because his father was a billionaire. Donald Trump's father was never a billionaire. Okay? He was never a billionaire. He was a millionaire, but he wasn't a billionaire, right? Donald Trump is a hell of a lot more intelligent than y'all give him credit for. And even better than that, he is a very shrewd businessman. Very shrewd. And that's the reason why none of the other world leaders play with him like that. Because he has the killer instinct. You know what I'm saying? He's not soft. The way Biden is soft. The way Obama was soft. Them niggas is soft, bruh. They soft. They didn't take... How many of y'all remember when Obama was at that spot? I can't remember where he was at. And he was shaking people's hand and that one dude wouldn't shake his hand. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Shout out to Life is Good. Said Nancy Pelosi, latest interview she said that Joe Biden should be added to Mount Rushmore for dropping out of the race. She has officially lost it. Man, bruh. Half the time, let me tell you something. Half the time Nancy Pelosi gets in front of a damn gets in front of the camera, she's drunk. Nobody wants to talk about this. She's drunk. We all know drunk people when we see them. We know luscious. Every time she gets up there on camera, she's slurring her speech. We know you're drunk. It's kind of like that scene on Cheech and Chong. Remember when Cheech and Chong got arrested and they was in the court? Because you remember Chong, he freaking tried to eat a bunch of his drugs before the police came. So he was messed up. He in the courtroom all messed up or whatever. And so Cheech goes up to the judge is sitting up there drinking what looks like water, right? She's up there drinking water, right? And if you go back and look at that scene, that judge be having the same look on her face that Nancy be having on her face. So Cheech goes up there to grab what he thinks is water and give it to Tommy Chong. And the judge is like, no. And so Chong drinks it and he spits it out. He said, it's fucking vodka, man. Yo, Pelosi be drunk, fam. She be drunk. You feel me? C. Baller said, prayers for Trump's safety. These leftists are psychopath, man. You got that right. They crazy as hell. They're crazy as hell. Yo, what is going on with the Cash App side of the game? Yo, I need 10 people to hit the Cash App and support the show, man. We need 10 people to hit the Cash App and support the show. We need 10. We need 10 people. This is crazy. Blue said, you ain't ish, angry man, and never will be. And never will be. Never, ever, ever. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you just how much I ain't shit. Let me see, because I always try to save something for you guys that's funny as hell. Let me see if I can save it. Watch this. Y'all ain't never going to be able to unsee this. See that right there? You ain't never going to be able to unsee that, bruh. You're never going to be able to unsee it.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You ain't never gonna be able to unsee that, bruh. you have no idea the level of ain't shit that I am. Like, real talk. Absolutely no idea. And watch this fool right here. Oh my God, this fool got cooked. Watch this.
And you can side with the party that, if you look like me, and you can side with the party that literally aligns themselves with the KK.
Well, damn, consciously, where the fuck you read that at? Or did somebody tell you that on YouTube? I know you do. I know you got too many followers not to be reading shit. But let me give you some literature. I couldn't wait to get somebody with a platform your size. I know you ain't gonna pay me no mind because these ain't my motherfucking words. You can pause it and read it for yourself because I already read it in the other thing. Long story short, everything that we ever needed in order for us to get here, us, came from Republicans. They literally fought against everything. Ask your people at the DNC about the 75-day filibuster. It's right here in the amendment. You see what the amendment is, right? I don't have to tell you what the fuck amendment is, huh? Please pause this and read it for your motherfucking self. Who is the racist ones? Who fucking trying to get people chicken in the ass for fucking getting a vote? Huh? Who can't name one policy, but you can speak on the whole Project 2025? Huh? Consciously, I know you ain't gonna fucking come talk to me because these ain't my motherfucking words. These, you know, amendment, both sides got to come together to make this motherfucker. So you mean to tell me both sides came together to tell you how they structurally try to keep us from fucking getting votes, fucking structurally try to keep us in chains literally, and you want to tell me if you're going to look my color and you're going to vote with them? Shut your ass up. You don't fucking read. You don't fucking read. You take your talking points from your paid masters. And the last thing, you said we aligning ourselves with people that align themselves with the Ku Klux Klan. No, fool! It's in writing, in an amendment. It said Democratic Party Senator Robert Byrd from West Virginia, a known recruiter for the Ku Klux Klan. Now you show me some literature. Consciously.
You look like
Cooked. Roasted. Who said, why did you do that to Beavis? Beavis is protected, LOL. Oh my God. Black Dog said, log out AM. Oh my God. Shout out to Deborah. Yeah, go look it up. Go look up that amendment. Go look up what they did in 1964. Since y'all want to jump out there and say, Lyndon B. Johnson gave us the Voters' Rights Act. Go look at who was opposing it. Go look at who was opposing it. Go look at that 75-day filibuster. Go look it up. Go look it up. That's all you got to do. But you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do it because niggas don't read. Shout out to Malik. He said, cook up. Appreciate you. That's one person on the Cash App side of the game. Let's see. Shout out to Roberto. Roberto said, the show must go on. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, he cooked that boy. He cooked that boy with fresh grease. Cooked that boy. Here's something else I found interesting. Because, why would Kamala, because, some people, like, I was on a panel the other day. Where I got into it with, damn, I forgot the brother's name, Damien, which is a cool dude. But he was talking about Kamala, basically saying that she wasn't pretending to be black, right? It's like, okay. Because nobody would ever do that. No one would ever do that, right?
He applied to medical school by claiming he was black.
I did it because I was desperate to get into medical school.
37-year-old BJ Chokal Ingram bears a striking resemblance to his celebrity sister, but he altered his appearance by shaving his head and then claiming on his medical school application that he was a black man. As part of the deception, he also used his middle name JoJo. Why?
There was statistical evidence that an African-American student with my grades and test scores was very likely to get admission to medical school, whereas an Indian-American applicant was unlikely to get in.
He says his plan worked. He was accepted to the St. Louis University School of Medicine in 1999.
I'm going to tell you something else, too, that I've noticed. And I'm not going to say no names. Not going to say no names. But all I'm going to say is this. There are at least 3 content creators here on YouTube that look Indian/Middle Eastern, and they swear up and down they black. And these are not small content creators. These are content creators that have large followings. Some of y'all probably already figured out who I'm talking about. But there are at least three that I've seen. At least 3 that I've seen that look Middle Eastern, even Indian, that swear up and down they black. In fact, 2 of them is always going at each other. 2 of them are always going at each other. And then there's a third one that seems to have a problem with black conservatives. Always find it amazing when people have a problem with black conservatives. But anyway, we need some more support, man. Hit the Cash App and support the show. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Hit the Cash App and support the show. Shout out to Corp CA said if the leftists are importing illegals, then that could only mean that their future intentions is to export Americans, and the first set of people to be deported will be blacks. That's crazy. Yo, shout out to Cutie Exec. Says smoking an underground right now. Cook. We're gonna wait and see if we get some support. If we get more support, we're gonna keep it going. If we don't, we're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna see if we get some more support. If we don't, we're gonna get up out of here. See, we got Cutie Exec, so we need 9 more people on the Cash App side of the game. We need 9 more people on the Cash App side of the game. I'm bugging right now. This was a good show. I thought I would get more support on this show. I really got to figure out how to tap into the ghetto ratchetness, because the ghetto ratchet shows be getting mad support. I got to figure out how to, you feel me? I can only do so much ghetto ratchetness, bro. You feel me? Shout out to Elton, appreciate you. Now we need 8 people. Now we need 8 people. I can only do so much ghetto ratchetness. Shout out to Joe Bisbee. He said, keep it going, AM. Pause. I can only do so much ghetto ratchetness. You feel me? Yo, shout out to Treese. Appreciate you. Shout out to Robert. He said, just supporting, bro. Appreciate you. Shout out to AJ. He said, keep it going, AM. Remind me of my pops when he used to spit game to me, OG. Appreciate you. So let me say this. I'm gonna say this, and then we probably gonna get up out of here because we not really getting no support on the Cash App. Oh, there we go. Finally, some decent support. Shout out to Andre. He said thoughts on Biden eating fried chicken with black family. Oh my God, Lord. It just never stops, man. It just never stops. Like, bruh, I put it to you like this. What do you think would happen if Trump ate fried chicken with a black family and they reported it on the news? What do you think would happen? They would be like, oh, it's so disgusting the way he's pandering. Shout out to Big Tex for gifting a membership. They've been like, oh, the way he's pandering is so disgusting. But I will say this. I will say this about the whole election. And every 4 years, it's the same thing. What I will say is this. Shout out to Tall. He said, keep it going, brother. Appreciate you. What I'll say is this, right? What we see going on right now, right? Shout out to AJT, said keep cooking. What we see going on right now is definitive proof, okay? Definitive proof that it is over for the black community as now. There are some of us that's gonna make it. And keep in mind, to all of my other followers or viewers that aren't black, the only reason why I'm bringing up the black thing is because the Democrats are pandering hard as hell to the black people right now, right? And you really got to start thinking about whether or not black folk are ever going to get it. If they're ever going to wake up. I told you, black folk with the Democrats, black folk are like Charlie Brown and the Democrats are like Lucy with that fucking football. Like, for those of us that are BINOs, those of us that are on the outside looking in, we keep asking ourselves, like, how many times are y'all gonna fall for this? I mean, that's all it takes to get y'all support. Is to smoke a little weed and play the saxophone. Walk around with a cool walk and play basketball. Say you got hot sauce in your bag. To say you clean some greens in a tub. To sit down with a black family and eat some fried chicken. See, where I come from, that's insulting. To try to use that as a political prop in order to get support from a particular group. Even going back to the George Floyd situation where you got Nancy Pelosi and them other folks walking around in kente cloth. Can you imagine how insulted Asian people would be if you were trying to get their vote and what you did is you tried to dress up in traditional Asian clothing? Sat down with an Asian family to eat some lo mein. Do you have any idea how insulted they would be? You cosplaying their culture does not benefit them. Having a conversation with them about the policies that will affect them, that's what's important to them. And that's what should be important to black people. The only problem is you got two issues. You got black people asking for ridiculous things instead of asking for things that make sense. And then you got Democrats who don't have no intention of giving you nothing anyway. Because you got to realize they're the Dixiecrats. They look at their background. They're going to give you what they want you to have. Keep falling for it. Keep falling for it over and over again. Shout out to Joe Israel. He said, keep cooking, AM. Shout out to Yoshi K. Said, just got in the building. Shout out to Frederick. Said, you got to pay black people to do the right thing. I don't think they're even going to do it then. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to butcher it, but I appreciate you. Like, because I'm going to tell you the truth. At this point in the game, if black folk don't understand what's going on, I mean, there's nothing else you can say to get them to understand it. At this point in the game, I'm going to tell you what's going on with America right now. And it's the scariest thing. I had this thought yesterday. I was watching Mark Levine. And, you know, he was talking about some of the conflicts that's going on, you know, overseas, right? And this thought popped up in my head. America right now is a pot of water that's slowly heating up. And the American people, we're the frogs. And the reason why I say that is because we're just sitting back watching as they do shit they not supposed to do. Kamala's not supposed to be the Democratic nominee right now. Nobody's saying anything about it, really. Well, they're paying lip service to it, but nobody's doing anything about it. Like, if the Republicans actually did this, they would be trying to bring them up on charges and shit. Now, for those of you that don't know the analogy about the pot of boiling water, if you took a pot with some water in it and you turned it on and you put a frog in it, the frog is not going to notice until the water's so hot that it's too late. That's what's going on right now. What I'm afraid of is by the time the American public collectively realizes that the water is too hot, it's going to be too late. That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing. That's as scary as the fact that you literally got black folk out here that are voting for their own destruction. If Kamala wasn't good enough to be the presidential nominee back in 2020, what the hell makes her good enough to be the presidential nominee today? What has she done since then? What has she done since then? But see, that's just further proof that the average black person operates based off of what society programs them to do. So if society tells you she's not a good nominee, then you don't think she's a good nominee. If society then turns on a dime and says she is a good nominee, now you out here cursing out other black folks ready to fight people in the street over her. I literally seen a video of the rally down in Atlanta where there was some people outside with Trump paraphernalia, and there's one guy with this Trump shirt on and a hat or whatever. And this black woman literally got out of her car, this elderly black woman, this older black woman that had to be in her late 60s, early 70s. She got out the car and yelled, "Fuck Trump." And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, what the hell is wrong with you, you lunatic? And see, it's sad because here's the optics. The left can be as belligerent as they want to because we'll ignore the fact that they're being belligerent. In fact, we want them to be belligerent because we want the world to see how ghetto and crazy and ignorant they are. And it's not just black people on the left. It's all of them. They're crazy, right? But the only problem is allowing that behavior only makes it worse, right? Because on the flip side, if somebody jumps out of a car and yells and jumps in your face and yells, "Fuck Trump," and then you punch them in their face, guess what? Now you're a fanatical Trump supporter. Because that's part of the reason why they're doing all of that. They're trying to provoke people on the right to get violent so that they can use that as the excuse to label the right extremist. It's the same game they've been playing I don't know how long. Same game they've been playing for I don't know how long, right? Job said it gotta be on real low. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Frederick. He said, please explain why America and its people are against reparations. Because it's not economically feasible. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, look at all of the money that they've sent overseas to these countries. Yeah, and look at the economic damage that it's doing to the country. In fact, you could even try to argue, well, if we didn't send that money overseas, if we gave it to black people in reparations, it would help the economy. It wouldn't. You're printing too much fucking money. You're printing too much fucking money. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, the average person that doesn't really understand economics or world economics is just not going to understand, like, giving any group of people large sums of money for whatever reason in one shot is not good for the economy, period. It's not. It's not. And I done told y'all a million times, y'all keep coming over here trying to have this reparations argument with me. And I done told y'all I'm not in favor of reparations for a few reasons. One, y'all can't even decide on who the fuck is actually black. So let's start with that. Y'all can't even decide definitively who is actually black. So that's going to cause a rift. That's going to cause a bunch of arguments. That's going to cause a bunch of bullshit. That's number one. Number two, okay? The reason why I'm not in favor of reparations is because none of you were slaves. None of you. None of you were slaves. So instead of wasting your time asking for reparations, you know the one thing you should be asking for? How many of y'all want to guess what's the one thing you should be asking for? Instead of reparations, you know, a lump sum cash payment, what you should be asking for is a tax exemption. That's really what you should be asking for. Be asking for a tax exemption. Shout out to Detroit 313. He said, right now, Biden raises $36.6 trillion economic debt, which he's worser than Trump. Be asking for a tax exemption. Because if you make the argument that black people in America are behind because of those years of free labor, right? You say, well, other groups of people were able to create generational wealth, which even that's debatable. Because, you know, with the exception of that top 1%, most people that have money are fairly new to having money, right? But if you want to make the argument that black people are behind because of slavery, Jim Crow, racist policies, or whatever, the way you make that right is with a income tax exemption. Or at the very least, less taxes, right? Some sort of tax cut for see, even if you do that, you still gotta figure out who gets it. Like it's a clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck. Shout out to Normac. He said they asking the wrong people for reparations. They need to ask the people who sold our ancestors in the first place. Well, even that gets dicey because you have to. Problem is, you when it comes to slavery, it's difficult to trace lineage. That's the problem. The problem is it's difficult to trace lineage. We don't know who came from Africa, and we don't know who was already here. But the reason why I don't like the reparations conversation is because, in my personal opinion, it's just niggas begging for shit yet again. And I know what you're going to say, but we deserve it because our answer, it doesn't matter if you deserve it or not. You're still begging for it. You're still begging for it. You still find yourself in a position where you're begging for something that someone doesn't want to give you. Now, in my life, and this is just the way I live my life personally, I'm not begging nobody for nothing that they don't want to give me. Like, I'm not going to go to a group of people and try to guilt them into giving me something that I don't that I know they don't want to give me because they feel like I don't deserve it. I'm not going to do that. Phil Lego said, if it didn't happen 100 years ago, it ain't going to happen. Let's go. It's not. Look, let me tell you something. You will wait your entire lives for reparations. It's not going to happen. You got too much goofy stuff going on in the country for that to happen anyway. In order for that to even be considered, the country would have to be in better shape than it's already in. And then on top of that, you have a lot of individuals they're not going to come out and say it, but you have a lot of individuals in economics and social scientists and all of these different people. The reason why they don't take you seriously when it comes to reparations is because look at how many Negroes get welfare. And I know what you're going to try to say, but white people get welfare too. Okay, and there's mad programs. There's mad programs that you get simply because you're black. There's mad programs you get simply because you're black. You can ignore it if you want to, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You don't need reparations. What you need is policies that's going to help fix the black community. Frederick said, you have people getting reparations right now. Like, who gives a fuck? They not supposed to be getting it. I'm so tired of you begging ass, whining ass, crying ass niggas. But what about them? And what about them? And what about them? On my fucking nerves coming in here trying to make an argument with me about reparations. And you know what's so crazy about it? Niggas will come in here and make this argument with me like I got the button right here. They'll make the argument with me like I can press the button right now and give them reparations. Reparations. Nigga, why are you arguing with me about the shit? I don't have the ability to give you reparations, my nigga. I don't. That's another one of those things, too, that's like the Kamala thing. That's another one of those things where it's like, if you don't agree with certain things, then you're not aligned with black people. Like, I don't give a fuck about reparations, bruh. Like, real talk, man. Real rap. And the reason why I don't give a damn about reparations is because of the simple fact that nothing in this world is free. Nothing. You talking about all of these groups that's getting this money and blah, 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 whatever. I guarantee you there's a price that comes with it. I fucking guarantee you. There's some goofy price that comes with it. Shout out to Joe. He said black people gonna get their reparations when America is destroyed. It's coming soon. Ask Russia and China. Black people ain't gonna get shit. Black people ain't gonna get shit except what they go out and get themselves. That's what black people gonna get. Black people ain't gonna get shit except what they are willing to go out and get themselves. That's just real. Niggas can get mad at me if you want to, but I live in the real world. I live in the real world, and I know how the real world operates. You can't even get all these other groups that you're talking about. They're able to get hate crime bills. They're able to get all these different things, and you can't even get that. And you think that they're gonna cut you a lump sum check? What world do you live in? You living in a delusion. You're living in a delusion. And see, all them other groups that get all of that stuff, you know what the difference between them and you are? Y'all want me to talk some common sense into these people? Let me explain something to you, black folk. The reason why you're not able to get those influxes of money or whatever, what do you have that America wants? Do you have a nation that produces oil or some sort of precious metals or some sort of resources? Do you have a military? You ain't got shit but your handout. That's all you got. Do you think that, see, this is the problem with black folk. Black folks still operate in this, oh, they like them, but they don't like us bullshit. Bruh, do you think that they're giving money to those different places because they like them? Because they're friends? Is that what you think? Because if that's what you think, you don't pay attention to geopolitics. Whenever you see them giving money to certain people or whatever, doing certain things, it's chess moves. There's reasons why they're doing that. And trust and believe they're not gonna do it if it's not mutually beneficial. Like y'all niggas, y'all sitting around because you have that mentality where you think everything is a handout. So when you look at other groups getting stuff, you think they're just doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They're just giving a handout. No, that's not the reason why they're doing it. Not the reason why they're doing it. And every single place that you see them giving out money are places that have a country, are places that have a military, are places that have something that is beneficial. If you, as a black American, want to get programs and all of this shit, then guess what you have to do? You have to stop sitting around whining and bitching and complaining about what you're not getting. You need to get the fuck up. You need to get active. You need to start running for public office. You need to start getting into these institutions where they pass laws, getting into these institutions where they come up with these programs, lobbying these politicians. The reason why you don't get shit is because you fucking refuse to play the goddamn game. Because you don't want to be seen as a sellout. You don't want to be seen as a coon. And that's the reason why your ass don't have shit, because you're living in a country where you refuse to operate in the game that the country operates in. Somebody in one of the other chat rooms said white people do the same thing. No, the fuck they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. Oh, what you talking about? You talking about the poor white people that ask for shit? Yeah, guess what? The poor white people that ask for shit, the reason why they get shit is because there's white people that ain't poor that are in the government that play the fucking game. And there's more of them that play the fucking game. You sound stupid. You sound stupid. I know, look, I know plenty that have their hand out. Of course they do. But they have representation. They have accurate representation. Adequate representation. You do not. Because you don't want to raise politicians. You don't want to raise investment bankers. You don't want to raise lobbyists. You don't want to play the game. You just want to sit back on your ass and get a handout from somebody that did play the game. You don't have accurate and adequate representation. What part of that you ain't understanding? Like I'm so tired of that same argument. But what about what white people get? White people represent the majority of this country. They have the biggest representation in government, in finance, in real estate, in every aspect of our lives. You have very little representation in all of those categories. And part of the reason you have very little representation in all of those categories is because you refuse to get your women on the right program so they will stop deleting your numbers at Planned Parenthood, which I might add, most of you niggas is about to vote for Kamala Harris, whose main platform is Planned Parenthood. You don't have adequate representation because you're only 13% of the population, and you have remained 13% of the population because your women are going down to Planned Parenthood committing a genocide, and you keep your mouth shut about it. How the hell do you expect to have adequate representation with that going on? How? See, what you don't realize is you can't fix nothing outside of your house until you fix what's going on in your damn house. You ain't gonna be able to do shit of any significance as long as your families in your communities are broken, dysfunctional, and full of shit. And no white Santa Claus handing your black ass a reparations check is going to change that. Because the only thing you're going to do is go out and buy a Lamborghini and some flat screen TVs and a house you can't afford. And within a few years, you're going to be broke as you was when you first got that fucking check. Stop coming into my channel talking about reparations. I don't want to hear it. Fix your damn community. Fix your mentality. Fix your bullshit before you start begging people for other shit. Nigga. Said, Mr. Angryman, you need to get into politics in school. Shit. You think they hate Trump? You think they hate Trump? If I was to get into politics, they would despise me. If I was in the damn position to give you niggas reparations, I wouldn't give it to you. Not because I don't want you to have it. Not because I don't want you to have money and prosperity. The reason I wouldn't give you reparations right now, if it was within my power to do so, is because I know what you're going to do with it. You're going to fuck it off. You're not going to use it to create generational wealth. You're not going to use it to put black people in a better position. You're not going to use it to create communities that are safe for black people to live in. You're not going to use it to create better schools and better education for black people. You're not going to use it to open up banks and grocery stores and medical facilities. You're not going to do any of that. You're going to fuck it off on entertainment, frivolous shit, clothes, jewelry, cars, all of the bullshit that don't really matter after you fucking buy it. You're not going to buy no land. You're not going to invest in no infrastructure. You're not going to be innovative and build anything. You're not going to do anything with it except what you always do, which is be a consumer. Truth of the matter is you don't really need reparations. You already generate $2.1 trillion every single year in spending money. If the black community were a country, you'd be 7th in the world. So it's not about your lack of money. It's about your lack of discernment. It's about your inability to prioritize what you need to be doing. That's what it's about. Giving you reparations, you may as well take that money and throw it in a bottomless fucking pit. You ain't gonna do anything of any importance with it. You even got some Negroes that's so damn ass ignorant. There's one dude that's older, a boomer, that talks about geopolitics all the time that I used to be cool with, that we fell out. When I said that shit, he said, it doesn't matter what they do with the money. I said, and that's the main reason why your black ass ain't in charge of nothing. And that's the main reason why you don't never need to be in charge of nothing, because you an ignorant ass nigga. Does matter what the fuck they do with the money. Not only does it matter what they do with the imaginary supposed reparations, it matters what you're doing with the money you make now. Ignorant ass. Shout out to the lowly one. He said, case in point, millions raised by B-dubs for Kamala, but kids can't even read. Facts. Shout out to Ahmad. He said, oh yeah, I'm fueling the anger today. Speak. Don't do nothing with that money. If I thought for 1 second that black folk today had the mentality to take that money and do something that would put black people in a better position, I'd be all for reparations. I'd be one of the main people up here arguing for it. I'd be one of the main people up here arguing for it. But see, the truth of the matter is, you're a bunch of badass fucking kids that don't deserve a Christmas. And I'm telling you, you don't deserve a Christmas. And you're mad at me because the only thing you worried about is your bike and your toys that you gonna get. That's all you worried about. I don't want you to have a Christmas because I know your ass don't deserve one. Yeah. Job said, why you think they destroyed Black Wall Street? Well, here's the thing, Job. It wasn't even called Black Wall Street until after that happened. The part that they don't like to tell you is that it wasn't even Tulsa, Oklahoma wasn't even referred to as Black Wall Street when it got destroyed. They didn't start calling it Black Wall Street until they rebuilt it. That's the part they don't tell you. That's the part they don't tell you. Wasn't even referred to as Black Wall Street until they rebuilt it. In other words, they rebuilt it. Okay? None of the things that they did back in the day really destroyed the black community. It actually made the black community stronger. None of the things they did back in the day. Not during Reconstruction, not during Jim Crow, none of that destroyed the black community, because during those years, early 1900s going all the way up to the 60s, there is nothing but an upward trend with black people in every category. What destroyed the black community is LBJ with his fucking welfare bullshit. That's what destroyed the black community. That's what destroyed the black community. Welfare and the overhauling and changing of the criminal justice system to target inner city youth. That is what destroyed the black community. That and our willingness to participate in that bullshit. That's what destroyed the black community. That's what destroyed it. Because guess what? They would have never been able to destroy it. LBJ would have never been able to destroy it if niggas didn't want free shit. The only reason the welfare program succeeded in dismantling and destroying the black family is because they were willing to push the men out of the household in order to get free shit. And here you are today in 2024 trying to make an argument for some more free shit. And you wonder why I'm against it. Because free shit does not inspire no type of growth in you niggas. Free shit does not inspire no type of competitive edge in you niggas. In fact, I would argue that black people tend to do better when they don't get free shit. Black people tend to do better when they have to get it out the mud. Now, if you think that's not true, go look at all the niggas in the hood that's getting free shit, and then turn around and look at all the well-to-do black people that had to get it out the mud. Free shit ain't never did nothing for black folks but make black folk lazy. Let's be real. Let's be real. Then you try to say, well, what about all of the people that come here from other countries? They be giving them free shit. And surprisingly, they keep working. Africans come over here and they get free shit. You know what they do? They capitalize on it. They take advantage of it. Latin people come here from other countries. They get some free shit. They don't stop working. They work harder. See, every other group of people that come to this country, they appreciate the opportunity because they're coming from somewhere where shit is fucked up. So them getting some free shit, they don't look at it like, oh, I can kick back and relax now. No, they're like, oh, I'm getting this free shit. You know what? If I add this free shit to hard work that I'm doing, I can really capitalize. The reason why you niggas will sit your asses down when you get some free shit is because you're fucking spoiled and you're entitled. You believe that you deserve something simply because your forebearers worked for free. That's not the way life works. You're no different than a kid that thinks his father and mother is supposed to hand him a fortune just because he was born into a family where his father and mother worked their asses off. You're entitled. That's literally the definition of entitlement. Literally. You think you deserve something because of what somebody did hundreds of years ago. And you could try to make the argument, well, back then, if they would have gotten paid for their labor, we would have more generational wealth. That's not necessarily true. Most of the slave owners in the South, most of the white slave owners in the South that made fortunes with slavery, those families are broke now. So you don't know that if those slaves would have gotten a certain amount of money, that money would have translated through the generations, because people fuck up money all the time. You can fuck up money in a generation. Go ahead and say something. I know it's hard to argue with that logic. Go ahead and say something. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you something. I used to have that mentality too when I was younger. I used to sit around thinking about all the injustices of the world. I used to sit around thinking about how I was at a disadvantage because I was black. I used to think about how much life would be better if the government would just give us this or give us that or whatever. And you know what? The entire time I had that mentality, the entire time I thought like that, all I did was sit around feeling sorry for my motherfucking self. I had a defeatist attitude, and guess what? I didn't get anywhere with that fucking attitude. It wasn't until I started thinking on terms of, you know what? So what if I'm black? So what if I'm at a disadvantage? So what if the government won't give me this or give me that? I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go out and get what I feel like I deserve. And it wasn't until I got that mentality that I actually went and got something. It wasn't until I got that mentality that I actually seen myself start to improve and start to grow. It ain't about what the government didn't give you. It ain't about what your forebears went through. It ain't about the disadvantages you have as a black person. It ain't about how unfair the world is. You should stop crying about how unfair the world is. Right now, there's a kid somewhere in another country that's being bombed. Right now, there's a kid somewhere in another country that don't even got clean water to drink. Right now, there's a kid somewhere in another country that's sleeping on a cot in some raggedy, torn up debris of a house, wondering if a bomb is going to fall on him that night when he sleep. Regardless of the disadvantages you have as a black person, you were born in a damn hospital. And you went from that hospital to a house with running water, with heat. You had food to eat. You were able to go to a school and get a decent education, even if you didn't appreciate that education. And after you got out of school, you had the opportunity to go out here and be whatever the fuck you wanted to be. With a little bit of work. All you needed was opportunity. And whether you like it or not, this is the land of motherfucking opportunity. It may be a lot of bullshit going on, but it ain't nothing you can't overcome if you want to overcome it. But most don't want to overcome it. They want to take those obstacles and they want to use that as the excuse for their mediocrity. They want to use that as the excuse for why they can't get ahead. They want to blame the white boogeyman for why they ain't got shit, instead of taking advantage of the opportunities that's right in front of them and doing what they need to do to get something for themselves. That's the fucking mentality you need to have. Because as long as you got that other mentality, you ain't gonna have shit. You can be sitting in the damn projects, eat ramen noodles, dodging fucking bullets. Back when I was freaking homeless, even as a homeless nigga sleeping in my damn car, I knew I had it better than some kid living over in the Middle East in a war zone. Because even in that circumstance, I had the will to go forward. I had the will to move on, and I knew the only thing I needed in order to improve my situation was information. The only thing I needed was to keep going forward. Just a minor setback for a major comeback. The inconquerable spirit. I literally used to sleep in a room above a damn shop that was connected to the damn tattoo shop that I worked at. Literally. On the days I was off where I didn't have no tattoos to do, I would get up, I would take my laundry, I would go to the laundromat, and I would wash my clothes. And while I'm at that laundromat, putting my clothes in the washer, and then going around the corner to the Walmart to buy toiletries that I needed to take a shower and clean up or whatever. The whole time I was doing all of that, I had my earbuds in. I was listening to Thou Shalt Prosper by Daniel Labin. I was listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I was listening and devouring every single book from every single person about money, about finance, about prosperity, about self-improvement. And it's because I operated like that, I was able to pull myself out of those circumstances. I wasn't somewhere crying about what I didn't have. And you talking to somebody that didn't have nobody did shit for me. Nobody did shit for me. Except little crumbs here and there. Every once in a while, I might be able to get $100 from maybe my pops or maybe my grandmother or something like that. But I didn't get handed any money. I didn't get handed a house. I didn't get handed no land. I got friends that they grandfather left for my house. I got family members, they family left them land. I got family members who had parents that passed away and they had big insurance policies, so they got money. I didn't get shit. I didn't get nothing except what the fuck I got out the damn mud. I had plenty I could have sat around on some woe is me type bullshit. But guess what? I knew that nobody was going to give a fuck about my woe is me story except me. Because everybody else got their own shit they got to deal with. Everybody got their own cross they got to bear. And you better bet your bottom dollar that they not going to carry your cross and theirs too. Shout out to Akiak. He said Black Wall Street was rebuilt in 4 years. Democratic policies and integration is what destroyed black economic power. Nobody told us to participate, though. Shout out to ESS Munch. He said, AM, this show will forever be a classic show. Proud to be a BINO, no doubt. Shout out to Cajun. Cajun said, damn, AM, this was a sign to me. I know what I need to do. It's simple, fam. It's simple. Because I've been where you're at. right now. I've been where you're at right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, you got an advantage because you got employment, you got money coming in. What I did, and this was my situation, right? It was the first time I was homeless. I was in good shape because the tattoo shop that I worked at, the guy that owned the tattoo shop, he was an ex-dope boy, had got out of prison, he had started some businesses or whatever, and he saw that I was kind of going through it, and he said, look, man, I got a spot above the shop that you can stay in, right? And so I stayed in that spot, did what I had to do for a while. After I stopped working at that shop, I worked at another shop. Now I didn't have the spot to sleep in. So what I did is I slept in my car. So this is what my routine was, right? I had a storage unit. And I didn't try to stay in the storage unit because, you know, you get in trouble for that shit, right? I had all my stuff in the storage unit. I had a membership at at Planet Fitness. So I get up in the morning, I go to the storage unit, I get a change of clothes. I go to Planet Fitness and work out, and I take a shower in Planet Fitness, right? And then, and by the way, if any of you plan on doing that, make sure you wear some flip-flops, take a shower in a gym. Don't be taking no shower. Don't be raw dogging and putting your feet on that floor, bro. But I work out at Planet Fitness, I take a shower, and then I would take my dirty clothes back to the storage unit and put them in a laundry sack. And then I would go to the tattoo shop and I would work and do tattoos or whatever. When I got off in the evening, I would go to a restaurant and get something to eat. I would sit down at the restaurant and eat. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll leave there and I'll go park somewhere where I know they're not gonna trip. I park at a Walmart. I'll park at a Sheetz gas station, any gas station that's 24 hours or whatever. And I catch some Z's and I get up and I do the same thing over. But the entire time I was doing that, I was also listening to audiobooks. I made sure I kept my membership to Audible. So I would listen to audiobooks. I would listen to guys like Robert Kiyosaki. I would listen to guys like Rabbi Daniel Lapp, and I would listen to guys like T. Harv Eker. I would listen to, you know, anything that was positive and, you know, self-improvement. I just kept grinding it out until I got into a better position. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't long after that that I started my YouTube channel and started growing and all of those different things. So I would have never been able to do that if I'd have sat around feeling sorry for myself. I would have never been able to do it. Was it hard? Yes. Was it difficult? Yes. Was it stressful? Yes. Was it stressful? Yes, but you know. Prince said, "Call me when you can, bro." What happened? Is everything all good? I don't like when people do that. What happened, bro? Is everything good? Is it good or is it bad? Is it good or is it bad? I please say it's good. Please say it's good. I'm getting ready to wrap up anyway. So shout out to Casey. Appreciate you. It's a little of both. Word. But yo, with that being said, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the show as always. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy. I'm going to be back at you guys tomorrow as always. Shout out to everybody that contributed to the show. Shout out to all the sponsors. Salute to the whole BINO Nation. I'ma holler at you guys later. Deuces.